this is Bethany Gagne, founder of the Global Peaceful Cities Project and the Albany Peace Project. And today, my absolute pleasure to be here with Martina Zobel, who works in integrative yoga therapy. Is that true?
Absolutely. That's one of the things I love to do.
Yeah. And Martina and I met at this wonderful meeting, and you just had this wonderful way about you. And can we talk about this idea of space, which I believe that's what we did at that meeting, right? And giving space around our thoughts.
So it's a great idea, right? We live incredibly rich lives, rich and diverse lives with so much going on. And then we get to the end of the day and we crash. And it's almost like you win if you're more exhausted than the person next to you, if you can't think straight. And we share with each other that experience. But what if we could make a paradigm shift? What if we win joy? What if we gain peace and harmony and security by pauses? You know, music is only rich because there's space between the notes.
Right.
You're a music teacher, right?
I was, yeah.
So life is only rich if you have a chance to digest the experiences. Imagine I took you out for the best meal possible. And then the phone rang just after dessert and you were just leaving the restaurant and somebody else you really wanted to spend time with said, I want you to come and have a meal with me. And you didn't want to upset them, so you went and had another full meal.
Ouch, yeah.
So we lead our lives that way. We run from one experience with my kids, with work, with clients, with projects in my community.
Right.
And we slam them up against each other. But what if you got in the car and you put your fingers like this, each fingertip touching lightly? This is called Hakini Mudra. This is the mudra that balances the hand gesture, that balances all the elements within us. And you just took a breath and you went, I am here. It is all going to be for the good in the fullness of time. Take one more breath. And let it out with a sigh. You feel the difference?
Absolutely.
It's that easy.
Right. It is that easy, isn't it?
It's really that easy. So the tools we want to gather in our life is how can I integrate these practices around the edges of my life, in between. You don't have to go roll out your yoga mat, have an altar, have a quiet room, because you'll never get there. It is not the schedule. Or maybe you will. But what if today you could start? And every time you got in your car, before you started the ignition, you put your fingers like this and you said that phrase. I am here. It is all going to be for the good. Which is not that it's all good. Right. Some of it's pretty rough.
Absolutely.
But what you do with it, how we respond, that is where the goodness comes.
And you're, by giving it that space around it, the goodness even in the rough spots can emerge, right?
Absolutely.
So I love this idea. So with people who say I don't have time to meditate, I don't have time to get coherent, this is so elegant, so beautiful, can be done in 15 seconds or less. And at the end of the day, you'll feel in a much different space.
You'll be grounded. Saying I'm here puts you in this present moment. Noticing our breath coming in and going out puts you in this present moment. This body, from the toes to the very top of our head, is a massive biofeedback machine. And most of us are taking our bodies and saying, be quiet, I've got life to live.
I know, exactly.
But what if we use it?
Yeah, absolutely.
I used to be a school teacher, and I used to say to students, when you got upset, just before you threw that thing, tore up that paper, threw yourself on the floor and had a fit, what were you feeling?
Right.
And of course, at the beginning of the school year, they had no idea.
Yep, that's common, right? People really don't know how they feel a lot of times.
But what if they noticed their hands got hot?
Yeah.
Their belly started to crunch?
Yeah.
What if there are actually early warning syndrome signs that we can learn what our body is doing, and our body is telling us the mind is about to lose it?
Yeah, exactly. So when we could also possibly do an affirmation or something like that at that point, right?
Great. So affirmations are not about brainwashing ourselves. You know, for the first 20 years I did affirmations, I was sure I was trying to convince myself that what I was saying was true.
Right.
And it wasn't true.
Right.
Say in the present, I am happy and contented. No, I'm not.
Right.
But what comes up is not just no, I'm not. What comes up is, but I don't have enough money to pay my bills.
Right.
Or I keep forgetting where I put my keys and I'm inefficient. Or I don't get my assignments in on time. Those pieces are places we can look to make subtle adjustments. What do I need to do to know where I put my keys?
Right. So using an affirmation almost as a diagnostic tool to kind of find out what is the block to that.
Absolutely.
Nice.
And then seeing, because there's always something under, right? So no sooner do you get your assignments in time, your keys in the right place. I don't even remember what the other one I said was. But let's imagine that got handled.
Yeah.
There'll be something else.
Right.
Because we're designed to be flawed.
Right.
We're not designed to be perfect. That's machinery. Human beings are changing, ever changing. Imagine I said to you, the oak tree that lost its leaves, bad oak tree, it should have kept them.
Right. Exactly. So you're going to be using an affirmation in your meditation today.
I am. The affirmation I'm using today uses, there's a couple of them, but one of them uses this mudra. So I don't know if you can see it clearly. You've slid your thumb in between your ring finger and your middle finger. You've made a little fist. You can rest your hands open or down. You want to be more grounded, rest your hands down. You want a little bit more energy, you take your hands open. And this mudra is the mudra of the tortoise.
Okay.
Right, like we love tortoises, right? They poke their little heads out, they visit. But the minute the tortoise doesn't feel comfortable, what does it do? Disappears right into its shell. That's what we need to learn to do. That's what that space between experiences is about. It's a chance to be safe and digest, rather than just continue to overload our nervous systems.
Right. And we're worthy of taking that moment to be with ourselves and put space around our thoughts, and and I think that's just so important. I think in this culture we just feel as though we've got to go, be on the run, and yet that space is so precious, and it's so.
And we're more effective as human beings. Not as machines.
Yes.
But as human beings, we actually can offer more, receive more, be more aware when we are allowing ourselves room.
It's funny because it reminds me of a phrase I heard about how mindfulness can add to your life. Not because you live longer, but because you're living your life well, moment to moment. It's stretching your life out. You're savoring it more. So I love this approach of this is a tangible way for people to start savoring their lives a little bit more and letting that space in, so more goodness can come in around the edges, and we can stop the grumbling as much.
Because it's there already.
Exactly.
The goodness is there. We're just so busy.
Right.
And so driven that we don't have a chance.
Yes.
I have a family practice. We say a thank you before we eat. We honor the food. We do it every time. I'd love to tell you we do. But we don't. But we do it often. And over the time we've gathered hands and we take this in-breath and we pause until we're all ready to be present, to be grateful.
Oh, I love that. How sweet doing that together and sharing that precious pause with other people. really beautiful. So thank you so much, Martina, and I'm looking forward to your meditation, and thanks again.
It is my honor to be here.